The emptier your life is, the more power someone may well have over you. What am I talking about here? When people give breadcrumbs to someone else, breadcrumbs of attention, or when people start to use other people, a lot of the time that is able to continue because the person on the receiving end of this doesn't have anything else in their life. It can be that simple. Somebody who's lonely is extremely susceptible to manipulation by somebody else. And some of that manipulation can be just to give you drips and drabs of their attention. And the problem is like if someone's dangling a carrot in front of you and you've got nothing else to focus on, and occasionally you're allowed that carrot or a sniff of it, that carrot becomes way more than a carrot. It becomes the best carrot in the world. It becomes the golden carrot. It becomes the most amazing carrot you've ever come across because you haven't got anything else to measure it against, and you will people start to allow themselves to be manipulated in a way, and they kind of drown underneath this kind of breadcrumbing routine that a lot of people do. This is mainly geared at relationships, or this kind of the person who's always available at work. Often it's because they've got nothing else in their life. Often it's because they're lonely. Often it's because they've stopped doing things that they enjoy for whatever reason, but it leaves people open for this kind of manipulation. So let me give you a real simple example. The text message that someone gives you as a reply after you've messaged them 9 times already and not had a reply, that reply becomes amazing. It fills you up. You feel so happy because you got that response. And this is the point. They're setting the trap. Maybe they're not doing it intentionally. I mean, you're setting the trap as well in a way, because what happens is instead of focusing on the 9 responses that you didn't get, you focus on the 1, and that 1 becomes glorious because as you're sinking down and curling up in a ball because you're being ignored, but you're being ignored, or you're just expected to do something at work and there's never any thanks for it, and they just keep relying on you to do it because you've said yes now 9 times, and you're not being noticed. And then that one time you get noticed, that one time you get that breadcrumb of attention, and they go, oh, thanks for doing that. Oh, hey, sorry, I was really busy, but now I've got a bit of time for you. How's things going? And tell me about this. And what they'll do is they'll try and latch onto something that you said, especially if they're highly manipulative. They will somehow give you the impression that they know a lot about you and that they really care about you by digging into something or asking you about something they know is quite dear to you. And then we kind of frame this in this way and we go, oh wow, oh they remembered, oh wow, they're really into me. And it's like, well hang on, you've just ignored the fact that they've ignored you 9 times, and maybe you haven't heard from them for 3 weeks or 6 weeks, or maybe your boss just expects it. And then the one time he just went, thanks. And that was like, oh, that was a big hallelujah moment. That was a big, oh, and then what do? You keep going with it. You keep doing the same thing because you want to get back to that breadcrumb because there's nothing else in your life. Now, I'm not trying to put people down here, but this happens to people, especially as they get older, friendship circles widen, people are doing different things. Friends go off, get married, have kids, stuff like that. People are worrying about themselves, trying to get through life. And often people find themselves quite isolated. Or, you went through a relationship and before that there was a particular hobby you did, and then you gradually stopped doing that hobby because your partner didn't like it or they didn't like your circle of friends. And you find yourself by yourself in this kind of shell where nothing much is going on. And when there's that kind of, it's not even a ray of light, it's that kind of tiny speck of light that comes from someone, you grab hold of it like it was a massive great sunbeam that just came into your world, and you blow it out of proportion. And the problem is it keeps you hooked, it keeps you on a loop, so you keep doing it. Now there are a few ways through this, but probably you're repeating a pattern or something that was familiar to you from way back when, and it could have been a relationship you had when you were an adolescent or in your early adulthood, or it could be something to do with your childhood. Maybe your parents weren't that available. Maybe they, I don't know, gave you intermittent attention. The point is, you need to break that loop, and the only way to break that loop is not to tell the other person to give you more attention, or that might work, but I doubt it. It is to start to fill the void that is your life, start to fill it up with other stuff that actually starts to compete with this breadcrumb. So, you know, and this is the hard part, because then people get like imposter syndrome and they get social anxiety and all sorts of stuff. So there are a few things you might need to work through, and you may need some help working through them, like to brave getting back into social environments. And some people go, yeah, but I don't want to do the kind of like, you know, party scene anymore, or the bar scene. It's like, well, what are you interested in? Find your interests, find people who are interested in the same things as you, and brave meeting them. Take, what do they call it? A wingman. Take a wingman with you as well. Someone who's just there, that just gives you that little bit of confidence, so you're not standing by yourself, and they're there and you can kind of go back to them and recharge before, or maybe they're good at breaking the ice with you or something like that. But the point is to start to get back into the world, to start to fill your life up with other things besides waiting around and counting how many times the telephone does not ring. It is a reinforcement loop of breadcrumbing, basically. And that's what people keep you on, whether they do it intentionally, whether they don't do it intentionally. Maybe they're lonely too, and they'll pick you up and drop you because they've got a couple of other things going on the side. And then it's like, oh, I'm lonely now. Oh, I know, I'll ring that other lonely person. I'll message them. And then I need to hook them in, so I need to remember what was really important to them. That gets them talking. I feel better. I then don't actually have to make the effort to go and see them or engage with them at all. And you're left on the receiving end of it going, what? Where have you gone now? Or the same with work, when you find you're the last one there and nobody's really acknowledging it or thanking you for it. Start to fill your life up with stuff that's important. So you go, actually, no, I've got something else to do, I'm afraid. You'll have to find someone else to do it. Or, yeah, thanks for your response, I'm a bit busy. Because trying to say you're a bit busy when that's the only a bit of attention you've had that week is really, really, really super difficult. It's easier to say it when you have been topped up elsewhere with good attention, good interactions elsewhere. That's reclaiming certain hobbies, reclaiming a project that you left a long time ago, or a new project that you want to work on. Filling your life up with something that the person giving you these breadcrumbs cannot compete with. And that way you don't, and that avoids that whole kind of like, I need you, because then people get stuck in that one. I need you to do this. And then they get stuck in that drama loop. I need you to do this. Yeah, but I'm not available. Yeah, but I really need you to do this. Yeah, but I'm not available. Well, I'm available. But no, then I'm not available again. And it stops all of that stuff, because that is just noise that fills up your empty silence. The empty silence is the problem, not the person. Push them to the side, say no thanks, and fill your life with stuff that makes you want to live that life.